Welcome back, friends, to another Age of Mythology Extended Edition gameplay cast. In today's match, we have Hagrid playing as Shennong and Sun-Tzu playing as Loki in the blue in the top, and of course, Shennong is red in the bottom. Let us get this started. Shennong being, of course, one of the Chinese civilizations. You don't often see too many Chinese civilizations being played these days. They have timber harvest, kind of a weaker god power. Target anywhere to make all your villagers gather faster. Not the greatest. So Allspark just is going to be scouting around. Let's check out the map here. So we got these gazelle, 8 gazelle here. We got some zebra over here, not bad. So that's already worth picking up hunting dogs for. And before we go check out the rest of the map, let's see if they already got that. Hunting dogs for Sun-Tzu and hunting dogs for Hagrid as well. Very nice. So we have some lions up here and some pigs. Very good. Hippos, not bad at all. 400 food a pop. In the center, we have some town centers, some gold. No, yeah, there's a decent amount of hunt. Wow. Look at all those animals. Jeez. And some more hippo and lions on this side, as well as some gazelle on this side. Do both players have hippos up here? Good bit of a crowned crane. Where are the hippos on this side? Is that just instead of hippos, do they just have crane? 100. I don't know about that. I don't know if that's quite equal. We see spy being used on these villagers.
Yo.
So now Sun-Tzu will have some good vision here. And because it is a food villager, he's going to know exactly where this hunt is going to be for these villagers. He's going to know exactly where Hagrid decides to move his hunt, and he can harass that with reckless abandon. Town center help killing off some gazelle there. Allspark continuing just to scout around as the villagers continue to pop out of the town center. Rather than, what is that command called? Where it just continually trains one villager at a time. Auto queue, perhaps? Temple going down now for Sun-Tzu. Hagrid as well, getting his temple down. Similar times, not exactly the same time, but similar times. It's already up at almost 300 compared to this one's almost done already with 2 peasants on it. He's going to be able to advance pretty much right away. Let's see where it ends up going through. There's that advance here in a second with this villager here. There we go. And we're going to see Sun Wukong, which gives the Great Journey and Monkey King. Little known tip, the Great Journey God Power also speeds up your trade caravans, so it's also pretty useful in the late game as well. I would love to see that God Power having multiple uses, though. It's not the greatest. We see Forsetti being researched for Sun-Tzu, Forsetti giving the Healing Spring and the Troll. Some houses going down around these towers, just giving them some added protection. Hagrid also electing to get some houses up above, or excuse me, around his towers. He's scouting out with his scout cavalry.
准备好了。
We see some immortals coming out for Hagrid and some Herser coming out now for Sun-Tzu. Just to come out across the map and apply some early pressure. Let's see where these immortals end up going. After he advances, of course. Some more houses and now dwarves coming up for Sun-Tzu. Next advance is done for Hagrid. Gosh, those immortals come out so fast. Look at those. Crazy. We see the Monkey King coming out now. He is going to run into this Herser. Let's see if he notices. Maybe gets a little cheeky hit off. Yeah, there we go. The Monkey King stuns units. I actually haven't seen these in battle, funnily enough. The Immortal is a superior unit to the Herser here. We should now see some War Academies and Longhouses. Is War Academy the same for... Yeah, War Academies. And some Longhouses for the Norse player. He is building them back at home rather than pushing them forward. Interesting choice here. This Herser is in big trouble if he does not back off. Those Immortals are going to quickly take them down. This Herser coming down and just harassing. It's not going to be good. He's trying to put some early pressure on, but our Chinese players is dealing much more damage. Great Journey being used. That is a minute. A minute of extra speed. And if you didn't know what it does, it increases the speed of your units. So they are going to be able to catch up to this Herser. This Herser might be going down as well. They're now electing to turn back and fight. He's not microing them perfectly. If he had both Immortals on this Herser, he would be able to kill it. As it stands, these are getting some great damage in. This Herser is going to be picked off. Great Journey is allowing them to catch up and just continue to put damage on. He's going to pick this Herser off. This is kind of big. I've really not liked this God Power, but it is getting him a ton of value here. Instead of attacking, he should have been trying to bluff. Oh, he gets another Herser. 3 Hersers. Pretty big. Sun-Tzu lost a lot there. Now has his healing spring up. That would have been a lot better earlier on. This Monkey King getting some ton of value here. He's disrupting this villager line. Let's see if he can get a kill before he goes down. Get out of there. Ooh, a nice little spawn by the Herser there. Loki spawn. Decent force here of military units now. Got some Chukanus, some Scout Cavalry, some Halberdiers. Nice little blend of units. Some Immortals. Really great classical army here. Sun-Tzu's throwing up some houses in front of that guard tower, giving some extra added protection. He's kind of just been pushed into his base now. I'd love to see some from Hagrid now. I'd love to see him take some Scout Cavalry, maybe 3 or 4 in a separate control group, and just start raiding up here because he knows the worker lines over here. I'm sure he saw that there were some. Yep, there was some dead. Yeah, okay, perfect. Love this. Knock on the front door with this part of your army. Go up here and raid this worker line with the Scout Cavalry. Love what he's doing here. He is pulling him off, but he is disrupting his economy. This is good. The Herser are going to separate into 2 different groups, but that's okay because the Scout Cavalry can just easily run away here. Allspark counting as anti-cavalry. You don't want them to get any hits on. Not the greatest of micro here. He needed to be coming up here and knocking on the front door with his military, maybe destroying some of these houses, taking down the sentry tower, putting some pressure on that temple. I'm not a big fan here of what he decided to do with the scout cavalry. Ooh, cheeky little building placement just to try to lock him in. Oh my gosh, really good. If he can get another one down, that would be huge. Almost did a full surround on those units. This is not really the greatest here. Just keep backing off. You don't need to fight that. That's too big. Go harass with the other part of your army. Get them off hunt. Just keep harassing this area. Back out. You could probably take this fight. You have a decent amount here. The Herser aren't super strong. What do they have here? They do have Hall of Thanes, which gives Herser speed and hit points. Still, I think you win this. Maybe not with the Valkyrie. Oh, a troll now. Think they got another spawn, or was that troll left over? Maybe it was a leftover troll. Ooh, another troll spawning. That's unfortunate for Hagrid. Some lone military here. That's not where he needed his military. He's just needlessly losing them. All damage is being canceled out by the healing spring. This is not a good fight. I like this by Sun-Tzu. He's just backing off with his Herser, healing them back up, and using his full Herser just to deal more damage, because that is a resource that Hagrid does not have available. He doesn't have anything to heal up those units. I don't know if you can train anything in the temple, perhaps. You can train monks, and I believe monks do heal, but he doesn't have any of those right now. Sun-Tzu is getting some picks from home. He doesn't have a lot of these, though. In fact, that looks to be about all of them. He's going to have to come back down here. I would love to see Hagrid hanging around this area still. Maybe leaving one single unit in here, just to know when Sun-Tzu comes back up. Because, look, he has no other hunt, right? He has to come down here for hunt, or way down here for hunt. But basically, that's it. That's all he has. It's just up here. Just this section. So you want to be leaving a unit here just to see what's going on to deny that. But he's not. He's electing to come over here. This army isn't really giving a lot of value to him. It would also just be worth getting a monk to heal this up. He has so many weak units. Just take these weak units, send them back home, get a monk, or bring a monk up here. Heal up. Eyes in the forest improves line of sight of infantry for our Norse player. Here we go. This is very, very smart by Sun-Tzu. Putting up a wall. That's going to allow him to get his hunt freely, secure this town center, and come up here to start mining gold. Yeah, this is what Hagrid does not want to see. This is not a good fight for him. He needs to pull back. His units are all kind of damaged. Like half of them, I'd say, are just kind of beat up. This is not a good fight for him. Especially with more myth units spawning now from the Herser. That is a special ability of Loki's Herser. They can... Where does it say? Here we go. Bonus. Herser summon myth units on their own in combat. Pretty strong built-in god ability. But he's going to be driven back. It didn't look like the greatest of fights for our Shennong player. More military churning out of those military academies. I'd love to see maybe a couple of villagers coming up and perhaps securing this town center, throwing up some military buildings around here. Just being a little bit more aggressive. This is what you want to be doing as Sun-Tzu here. You want to be peeling off more of this military and just keeping them occupied. Okay, if they're chasing this little raid, they're probably not going to be pushing up with that big of a military presence. He's going to let it go, which is not good because they're going to catch all these villagers off. That's really bad. Oh, he's going to miss it, though. He totally missed it. He wasn't paying attention. That's unfortunate. Oh, yeah, nope, that's unfortunate. Now the entirety of Hagrid's force is coming to bear on this wall location. If you can bust through that, then you can get at these dwarves, which are picking up these crane over here, which are 100 a pop. Shaft mine now being researched for Sun-Tzu as well as an armory. Our Norse player is thinking about going to the next age. He's got almost, well, not if he trains more units. This is a big force knocking at his door, though. My God, a ton of different units here. These Horse are repairing this wall faster than they can take it down. Maybe now with those extra scout cavalry, that would be enough to chip it down. Yes, he's slowly whittling it down, but it's requiring a lot of his units to be over here attacking this wall. More myth units being spawned now. If they can get those immortals killed fast enough, those myth units will be getting way more value because they take just so much less damage from normal units. More myth units spawning now. This is not good. Sun-Tzu still deciding to back off. Still doesn't quite have the amount of military he needs to bust through this. Hagrid suffering from a deadly raid. He did not commit any of his forces to chasing this down, and now he is facing the consequences. Losing some villagers here. Ooh. Losing a ton of villagers, and Einhar spawns. That's really not good. You don't want to see that down here. Hagrid continuing to put pressure on this location, but I think it'd be just much better to go resecure his borders again. There we go. We have some immortals coming out now. He needs a lot more than that. There we go. More military up here. This cavalry is going to be disrupting this line, but he has a lot of weak units here. They're going to drop relatively quickly. They're taking a lot of damage. These units being cleaned up here. He needs more immortals down here, though. He needs more immortals. Where are the immortals? Too many myth units. There we go. Here's one immortal. That's attack. You have plenty. These scout cavalry down to half their original size. 4 of them being picked off up here. Not good. You need some monks to heal up the army. These units being kept an eye on by Sun-Tzu. He does see where this hunt location is. He needs to go raid this. That's a good raid for him. Sun-Tzu has a lot of gold here. We see some gardens being thrown up for Sun-Tzu, or excuse me, for Hagrid. Copper shields being researched for Sun-Tzu. Shaft mine being picked up for Hagrid. I'd love to see one of these players go to the next age. Just a heated classical age fight. Hagrid is forced to back off here. Sun-Tzu just has way too much of a military presence. But the army of Hagrid coming back down here, this is probably going to be enough to take this on now. Though he doesn't have any immortals here, so perhaps not. That's another Valkyrie being spawned. So many Valkyrie. This is a very successful raid. There is a nice little raid up here, but it is going to be cleaned up. That's going to be pushed back. This is going to continue to... Oh, another myth unit spawning for Sun-Tzu. Gosh, this is just kind of getting out of control. Hagrid throwing up some stables now. He needs more immortals. More immortals to come down here. Just continually nonstop produce those immortals. How much do these cost, by the way? 80 food, 40 gold. Yeah, worthy investment. This hunt over here is untouched. This gold mine untouched. This gold mine untouched. And he switched to farm, so he has... Sun-Tzu has decent food income now. Good wood coming in over here. Heated battle now. These immortals are going to be playing a huge role in pushing back these myth units. While this is all going on, though, this is giving a chance for Sun-Tzu to stabilize, because if he gets enough Herser with those myth unit generation, that was keeping Hagrid busy for quite a while. Oh, they just do so much damage. Look at how fast the Immortal kills those myth units, just so quickly. But now that this is a good raid here, but he's being pushed out by this Immortal. He needs a little bit more than that. But now that Hagrid has kind of cleaned this up, he's gotten more control of this area. Military buildings up here. This would be a good settlement to take control of, just to get that population boost. He's throwing up an armory, so he's thinking about going to the next age. Sun-Tzu, ton of gold in the bank. He's getting plow. He did not have plow before. That is unfortunate. No wonder his food income has been so abysmal lately. Whereas if we look at Hagrid's, his food income is much better just because he has Hunt to play with. There's these units over here. He does have a Herser. He could build a cheeky little, maybe some cheeky military buildings down here. Hagrid's just done a fantastic job of reclaiming the map. Oh, wait a minute. You see some cheeky Herser coming down here. Perhaps going for a side build, or maybe coming up to disrupt this hunt on this location. He might think that this is the only location that Hagrid is getting food from. That and perhaps maybe farms as well. So he might be wanting to sacrifice resources just to really take that down. But it's not going to be enough because he has this hunt location on this side with way more villagers. He did not mean to lose these villagers. That was a needless waste. Very unfortunate. Big battle down here. I love this by Sun-Tzu. Just these little hit and run attacks with these small amounts of units. If he can scout out these two locations and send units to here and here, good wall going up for Hagrid to deny these little Norse raids. If he can throw another one on this side, that would also be very, very beneficial. More Herser coming down. He needs a wall on this as well. Ideally, if he cleaned all that up beforehand, he could wall off all these little locations to keep him trapped in his base. That's what you ultimately want. Because now his army's just being pulled in all these different directions. So many just little raiding parties of Norse units causing so much havoc. And on the back of all these little raids, what do we see? We see our Norse player going through Bragi. That's going to mean flaming weapons combined with Herser, spawning myth units. That's going to be very, very powerful indeed. Hagrid has the gold to advance, but does not have the food. If he can stop production, he can just catch up here to Sun-Tzu. But I'm guessing, because this match is so close to being over, once Hagrid sees those flaming weapons with a good amount of Herser, perhaps, he might GG. But perhaps not. He doesn't have any military at home. Some Herser now being trained. Good raid coming in on this side, disrupting farms, disrupting all the farms here. Love to see that. Bragi coming through any second now. That might be the GG once that arrives. Just because he has so many units all up in Hagrid's base, disrupting all of his production. Are we going to see flaming weapons? Are we going to... No. Ultimately, Hagrid decides to GG there because this location is being disrupted. This location is being disrupted. His farms are being disrupted. yes, Hagrid has a big army here, but it's just Chokanus. Nothing to really siege with. Now we have a battle board coming out. We have flaming weapons on top of this. Some Herser, probably more Herser being trained. We have more Herser, more battle board, more Herser. Maybe some military upgrades coming through as well. The Herser is just going to spawn more myth units. The flaming weapon's going to strike, and it's just going to wipe out the entire military of Hagrid and allow the Norse player to get control and maybe take this town center and start to push up and secure the map. And Hagrid ultimately did not want to deal with any of that. So big lesson here is do those raids. There was a big window of opportunity for Hagrid that he had where he could lock down this area with a wall, lock down this area with a wall, come up here, lock down this area with a wall, and just keep the Norse player confined to his base. But because he did not do that, and because he didn't wall off his own locations, okay, he did wall this. He did start to wall this, and that's great. Wall here, but he didn't wall this. He didn't wall this. And he didn't protect his gathering sites. Ideally, you wall this, completely contain the Norse to his base. Keep, half your forces up here, half your forces up here, maybe some forces down here, a couple, or move this force down here, maybe get some guard towers up, and you lock this location down, and you keep the Norse in his base. Failing being able to wall this section, you wall your own side of the base. And that allows you to protect your resources and prevent these little raids from coming in and disrupting everything. If he walled this off, boom, now this hunt's protected. Right? Maybe even wall this, maybe wall this down here as well from here to here. This hunt's protected. Wall these two sections, this is protected. But because he didn't wall anything off, or didn't do well enough of a job to wall these things off, what ended up happening is Sun-Tzu was able to just get so many of these little raids. There's 3 separate raids going on at one time. That was crazy. That's the most intricate fucking raiding I've seen in a classical fight ever. So take notes. He was raiding the main base from down here. He was raiding the gold mine. He was raiding this hunting. He raided this earlier with a separate group of Herser that I think he brought down on this side to disrupt the farm. Like, Hagrid's economy was in shambles, whereas over here, Sun-Tzu, he was falling behind, but he got plow. That allowed him to boost his food economy up. Much more. So it wasn't like it just was super low. So that got him back on track. He had, obviously has his wood, okay. He was mining from, I think, this gold mine. No, he was mining for this gold mine. He almost finished that. But he could have just easily moved over to here. Could have maybe walled this section off to protect it. But he just did such a great job raiding and then gathering enough resources to age up to give him that significant advantage. And that's what pushed him over the edge and got him the win. So GG's, some good lessons to be learned here. Great job to both players. And what an exciting match. Big thank you once again for watching this match. If you did enjoy it, smash that like button and hit the subscribe button as well while you're there, and tap the notification bell so you can see more of these episodes if you're enjoying the content. If you go into the links in the description, there's one for the Discord community. You can join that, become a part of the conversation, as well as there's a section in the Discord where you can actually upload your own replays. So if you want me to cast your games, try to keep them short, like 20, 30 minutes max, I will cast your games. I am looking for casting fuel, okay? Feed the fire of my channel, and I will feature you and give you some good coverage. And lastly, there is a section to become a patron. My Patreon link is in there if you want to financially support the channel, and you can be just like these beautiful people here. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. You're amazing, and thank you for watching. Can't wait to see you in the next one.